Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are and whatever time of the day you are watching this video. Hope you are well and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will be going through the pre-match preview for Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. So many subplots in this, I can't wait to get into it. You have Forest's first home game at the City Ground in the Premier League in 23 years. Guys, if you are hyped and excited or even going to the match, drop the video a quick like and of course subscribe if you are new. Let's add into the mixer this beautiful man right here, Jesse Lingard, playing against the club that wanted him, that couldn't get him, that didn't have enough resources, or should we say pull, to outshine the mighty Forest. And Forest, of course, obviously ended up getting him over them. Add into that, Maxwell Cornet may make his debut against the team that have been interested in him all summer. How's that one going to play out? And of course, our very own Antonio, who still, if you cut him open, bleeds red. Not those crappy Claritin colours. But how's he going to perform? And is he going to start in this match? So much to cover. Guys, one quick thing, you can support the channel now for only 99p by becoming a member, which will give you all the members perks as well. And don't forget, now follow me on Twitter, as I am bantering with all the West Ham fans, all the other Premier League fans as well. I need your backup, boys. It's Wolverine8125. The link is in the description below. Just go ahead and click that and give me a follow. Right, enough build up. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about the predicted Forest team, the predicted West Ham team, the formations, how they line up, and as well where the game will be won and lost. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so this is my predicted Forest lineup with a couple of maybes, maybe nots. Steve Cooper's come out and says that McKenna has picked up a knock. So potentially there could be a change. If he is out injured, and we all know with Steve Cooper, there's always cryptic messages going out in the pre-match interviews. But let's assume that he is. I think what will happen is Worrell will come into the centre and Biancon will come into Worrell's position, and the rest would stay the same with Niakhate out on the left. If he's not, and McKenna is fully fit, I would like to see McKenna starting in the middle with Niakhate on the left-hand side. Now, there are rumours that Freuler has been registered pre-12 o'clock yesterday, which would make him legible for this game. I'd be very surprised, even if that was the case, that Cooper would start him. But having said all of that, I will go with this team for now. We'll obviously discuss it further in the watch-along on Sunday. I think it's going to be Mangala and O'Brien in the middle, Lingard in the hole, maybe dropping in to make it a flat 3 when we're defending, and then Owani and Johnson up front. We're at the City Ground. We cannot and we will not accept a backs to the wall performance, as in sitting deep with the two CMs dropping in to almost play into a back 7. We cannot let that happen. There is no team in the Premier League that, if you allow them that much time and that much space in the midfield, will not punish you. So that's the lesson we've got to learn. So that's my predicted team. Let's jump across and have a look at the West Ham predicted team, which is a bit harder to judge at the moment because of a couple of the new signings that they have had. But let's get onto the virtual pitch. Alright guys, so this is how I think the West Ham team will line up. I've also put the Forest team in the formation as well. West Ham tends to play a 4-2-3-1. They're quite set on this. They can fluctuate into a 4-3-3 as well as a couple of plan B and plan C options. I believe Fabianski is injured, so we're going to see Areola starting in goal. To be honest, I would have preferred Fabianski in goal. He's got a shank in him every now and again, and I quite rate Areola, so I don't really like the idea of him being in goal, but it is what it is. In defence, it will most likely be Zuma and Johnson up front. Let's hope there are no stray cats floating around the City Ground at the time of the match. Otherwise, he could get quite distracted, and then they will all set up with Kufal and Cresswell as their wing backs, or right backs as it would be in a traditional 4. For sure, the powerhouse, the unit, the engine of this West Ham team is going to be in the 6 and 8 positions, which will be held by Declan Rice and Souček as well. They're big, physical men who can get up and down and work really, really well in a double pivot. I would argue that they're one of the best combos in that 6 and 8 position in the Premier League. Yes, you heard me give West Ham a compliment, but I really do like that combination. They can defend well, they can push up the pitch well, and they can progress and dribble out with the ball when required to, as well as play lovely passes into the more attacking third of the midfield. Then when it comes to the midfield, it tends to be a flat 3 with the width coming from the likes of Bowen and Fornals as well, with Lanzini in the hole, and then the man that bleeds red, as we've talked about before, Antonio. Now, what's going to be interesting about this West Ham team is they've got a couple of new signings. Scamacca will probably come in. From what Moyes was saying yesterday, it sounds like he's ready. Will he replace Antonio, or will Scamacca drop into the 10 and Antonio up front, or vice versa? We'll have to wait and see. And also out on the wing, Fornals even, who is a decent player, but I think Maxwell Cornet is the better winger, and I think he may replace him, or at least come on for him during the match. So that's how West Ham like to set up. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to mix it around a bit, put the two teams together, and show you where the battles are going to be on the pitch. So I think typically this is the setup that both teams would like to play and be the shape of during the match, with both teams trying to play a higher line. Where you're going to have the interesting battles is in between the lines here. For West Ham, it's going to be the likes of Bowen. Can he get in between the lines here with runs out wide? Lanzini, if he plays, likes to sit between the lines as well, looking for those pockets of spaces. And then you'll have Cornet probably bombing down this left-hand side. He's going to pose a similar threat to ASM from last week at Newcastle, but with less skill but better finishing, so be wary of him. What we need from a Forest perspective is the battle of midfield to be won, and it's going to be a tough one. We almost need to turn the midfield here into a 5, where we've got the likes of Nico Williams and Tuffalo coming up, which will allow the push-up here of Mangala and O'Brien, and then have Jesse as that extra body in midfield to free up the space so he can work in the pockets as well. Whether or not this is going to happen, I'm not sure, because honestly, I'm really impressed with that combo of Rice and Souček, who really can dominate even in a 3-2 scenario where they're being outnumbered. So we need to be careful at that, but to put things in our favour, it helps if we get the bodies forward. Now, for this to work, we have to play with a higher back line. In the Newcastle match, if you look on the heat maps, the back 3 was sitting very, very deep, almost like this, because Worrell was being dragged out heavily to the right-hand side, and these two were being pulled across over the left-hand side, which left pockets and channels which Newcastle and Bruno Grimero was easily able to exploit. So we have to be wary of that. To stop that, we need to hold a higher line. Now, Antonio has pace, but he's not as fast as he was when he was at Forest or from a couple of years ago. He's still got pace, he's still got strength, he's still got a threat in him. So again, we need to be wary of these balls that Lanzini may look to play, or Scamacca, whoever it is going to be in the lineup, for Antonio to make the runs in behind. So although we're playing a high line, we've got to be very wary. That's where Niakhate's pace is going to come into effect quite heavily. Now, Niakhate, if he does move over to the left-hand side because of McKenna's injury, it's going to be a very interesting day out to see how he performs there. Reason being, one of his natural instincts is to grab the ball deep and actually run forward with it, which I'm all for. And that helps to push the defensive line forward. If that happens, then what I want to see is the likes of maybe O'Brien or Mangala, whoever's in there, just dropping somewhere into the pocket here to cover the hole, allowing Niakhate to play those through balls into the channel, maybe into Iwani or into Tuffalo, who will be able to then make an overlapping run outside of Kufal there. This strategy does come with its risks, because Tuffalo, who's not yet fully impressed me yet, if he is to lose the ball high up the pitch, or we lose it in the midfield battle with the likes of Rice and Souček, then suddenly we may find ourselves in an overloaded position. Tuffalo could be out of position here. I feel he's been slow tracking back at times. That will allow Kufal the space here and the double overload of Bowen on the right hand wing. It could be the same story on the right hand side. We know that Worrell himself likes to move forward with the ball, looking through those channel balls through to Brennan Johnson and Nico Williams as well. However, again, if they get caught, we could end up, especially down the right hand side, and I've seen it plenty of times even in the championship last year, where suddenly we're faced with one defender left back, one CDM, and potentially a 4-on-2 scenario as these guys try to catch up. It's risky, but I don't mind it because at least the mentality of the team will be to go forward. And that's what was missing in the Newcastle match. So I'm all for the Niakhate runs if he's playing in the left-hand channel, or Worrell to push forward a little. So that's my thoughts on some of the tactics that we can expect to see. Now, how do Forest win this game? And win this game they can. If you're going to play with the 3-5-2 formation, then the wing-backs, it's imperative they're playing more in the 5 in midfield rather than in the 5 at defence. So for me, we have to take some risks and make sure Nico Williams and Tuffalo are right up here. What this will do, in fact, even higher up, I just don't want to put it behind the camera. What you want to do here is you want to force the left and the right backs for West Ham to be drawn out wide, creating a nice pocket of space here for the likes of Jesse Lingard to now pull out here and create the triangles between, say, Tuffalo himself and Iwani. This will create some space. Iwani can then stretch the game out this way, dragging one of the centre backs as well. And again, what will that do? That will allow one of the CMs to progress forward, pulling back the CMs with him. If we can do the same from the other side, where Williams is pulling out the left back in Cresswell, that will then create Johnson the opportunity to look for the overlap, the quick 1-2s as he runs into the channel. Once that happens, it is imperative that O'Brien or Mangala or both are really busting a gut to get into the box to create those numbers in there. We have to, I mean, even if one is committed, it is fine. You know, you could keep O'Brien there, maybe send Mangala forward. It's a move and a play that he likes to do. That creates the numbers, again, dragging more players back into the Newcastle box. And in essence, what that will do, we will end up with 2 at the back in a position like this. Worrell will then hold into a CDM position, and it will allow Forest to choke West Ham up the pitch. This is the style that we played with a lot in the Championship. Can we convert this into Premier League? Sunday will be the thing that tells us and finds out. My only worry with the CMs is we don't have, and the team in general, from the attacking perspective, is we don't have a lot of height. If you look at Jesse Lingard, he's 5'9". I think Johnson's about 5'9.5", 5'10". The 2 CMs are quite short as well. And Iwani's about 5'11", I believe, off the top of my head. So we haven't got a lot of height in the box. And West Ham have big physical, tall guys both at centre back and in their CM positions as well. So what does this mean is that we are going to need to win the battle on the ground. We cannot see those Hollywood balls that come over the top from the defense bypassing the midfield. It's just gonna not work in our favor at all. So we need to make sure that it's ground passing, quick, sharp, quick energy, quick movement through the lines, and everyone rotating in position and trying to change the West Ham shape. So that's how I see that going during the game. My prediction, guys, it is going to be a 2-0 win to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, or should I say Dean Henderson, more than anyone deserves a clean sheet, having made the most saves last week in the whole of the Premier League. I think he's going to command that box in the first game at the City Ground. It's going to be one hell of a match. Who's going to score those 2? Well, happy birthday to Iwani for yesterday. He's 25 years old. He is going to cap his birthday weekend off with a goal. And then the winner, and the one who settles the match, it can only be one person. J-Lings to score on Sunday, Forest to take it 2-0. Let me know your predictions down below. We will have the watch along for you Sunday starting from 1:30 p.m. We'll bring you the team news, the good old virtual pitch that you all love, so you see everything kick by kick, and then we will see how it goes at the City Ground. Guys, thank you for watching. Before you leave, if you've enjoyed the content today, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Join the membership if you want, but more importantly, follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description below. I can't wait for this one. I'll catch you guys later on with a transfer update. Come on, you Reds!